We just saw a clip of The Naked Gun available in theaters nationwide next week, Friday, August 1st. And Danny Huston is here in studio playing the bad guy. And I'll be honest with you, Danny. I'm watching this film. I watched it last night coming back from Boston on the plane. And, you know, you're laughing in a plane, right? People are like, well, what's going on over here? Right. But just seeing you and playing your character, you're kind of, to use the phrase from the original Naked Gun, you're the Ricardo Montalban of this movie, right, Danny?
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I am.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm a scar and all to support that kind of archetype villain.
Yes,
I suppose. But there's also with this kind of writing where you kind of have to play it straight.
Yeah,
it can be quite challenging when things are funny and you're not supposed to be laughing.
Right.
So Liam and I had this sort of secret way of getting around it, which was that I wouldn't look at him in the eyes, I'd just look at his forehead. And he'd look at my forehead, and then we could hear the crashing in the background,
right,
and not engage in laughter, because however funny comedy is, it's quite a serious enterprise, and the director occasionally would come up to me and say, very, very seriously, he would say, "That's very funny."
Now, normally your answer would be, so tell your face.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's so funny. Tell your face,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
But obviously, it's a serious endeavor to make somebody laugh.
Yeah,
and certainly this sense of humor is it's been around a long time. And you want to pay homage to the original while you're also creating your own new thing here.
Yeah,
you know?
and Liam Neeson is fantastic at that sort of deadpan, dry humor. He just delivers it very seriously, and maybe at times his character might be a little naive or bumbling, but he's got a course that he's taking, and it's a serious one.
Well, that was Leslie Nielsen, right?
Yes.
I mean, Leslie Nielsen was a serious actor, and a lot of the things that Police Squad and The Naked Gun was sending up. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so he kind of traded off of that.
Yeah.
And then obviously became known for that, right? So Liam is known mostly for his dramatic work, and so now you're kind of trading off on that sort of thing. You know, then it's pretty cool to see. Is this the first time you worked with him?
It's the third time I've worked with him. Which was good because it was comfortable. We know each other, so we could be in these ridiculous situations, and recover. Every now and again, he'd during a break or whatever it is, he'd say, "Would you like a piece of chocolate?" And I'd have some chocolate, and we'd chat, and then we'd start again. So we felt comfortable and easy with each other. The other incredible performance, I believe, in Naked Gun is Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, it's great to see her there too.
Exquisite, and she falls into the femme fatale archetype.
The Priscilla Presley of this equation as well, just to again bring back the people who were in the original film.
Yes, and I guess you could take it further back to the film noir.
Yeah,
those characters that we understand from the early film noir, which my father was very much part of. You know, he directed, John Huston directed The Maltese Falcon.
I am very well aware of that, and I would love to go down that wormhole a little bit with you and put a pin in that, because I definitely want to talk about all of that. But yes, the film noir or the dragnet type stuff is exactly what, Police Squad was sending up. Airplane was sending up a lot of those those disaster films of the 60s, like the Poseidon Adventure, and obviously Airport. Yeah. That's what that was sending up. And I know that Seth MacFarlane was a huge fan of the Airplane films, which is why he's now behind bringing this back to the screen right now.
Yes, and it's Seth who had the keen eye of seeing Liam.
So he's the one who casted him in this thing.
Yes.
So you got a script and you were like, I'm in? Like that
Absolutely.
was it?
It was that quick.
It was that quick?
Yeah.
Were you a fan of the original? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, right? Who was
And
it?
I read it. It was. I laughed out loud when I read it, and I knew that Liam was involved, and that's.
I was a fan of the old Police Squads too. The 6 episodes that were on ABC.
Yes.
And it was kind of wild that network television was like, okay, let's try this one out.
Yeah.
and that's where Frank Drebin was born, was on network television. And I just remember a line from it where he's undercover. Frank Drebin's undercover, and he's a guy who's undercover as working as a locksmith, and he breaks into the bad guy's office, and the bad guy says, "Who are you, and how'd you get in here?" And he says, "Well, I'm the locksmith, and I'm the locksmith," and that's it. And that's what this is all about, right? Yes. And you just deadpan it.
Yes.
And Leslie Nielsen would just nail it every time, man.
Yes, that's exactly it.
And I love it. Again, this film is back, and it nails it, and it's great to have you here on the Rich Eisen Show to help talk about it. The Naked Gun to get available in theaters nationwide next week, August 1st. Now, you just mentioned who your dad is, John Huston, as legendary as they come. What's your first memory of being around a movie set or show business that you remember?
Yeah, I mean, one of my first memories was he was making a film based on a rather well-known book called The Bible.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he was
I've heard of it.
Yes, and he was dressed up as Noah, beard and all, and he had the animals walking side by side. There was the ark was there,
yes,
in full glory in Italy. A film produced by Dino De Laurentiis, and that was my father. That was the guy, and he occasionally would sit on the director's chair and smoke a cigar,
yes,
and he was the coolest dude.
He was.
You could imagine.
You would imagine, right?
And he also did the voiceover for God, and I guess one's fathers are gods in a sense, but never quite. In the beginning,
I remember, sure.
And that was so. I spent a lot of time with him on film sets and would observe and
what did he teach
learn.
You? What did he teach you that you take into your roles all the time?
I guess quite simply choose the right story, choose the right script, and cast it properly.
Sounds simple, right?
Yeah. I had a Super 8 camera. I was filming everywhere when I was a kid. And he went, "Stop doing that." I went, "What's wrong?" He goes, "When you look from left to right, what do? You blink. Mm-hmm. That's a cut. So think about how you're going to be piecing this together. Don't just shoot wildly."
Oh, that's interesting.
And it's a good advice for life, really, as well. Concentrate on what it is you're trying to say, and forget all the nonsense in between.
Were you ever starstruck by anybody that your dad was directing? Were you remember?
I was lucky enough to meet all these people over dinner or at his house, and it wasn't a sort of Hollywood situation. He lived in Ireland, and so it didn't have all that sort of glitter around.
Your dad lived in Ireland?
Yeah,
when he was
in Galway, in Southern Ireland.
And you would just fly back to the United States to direct a film or act or anything like that?
That's right. And then later he lived in Mexico. Mm-hmm. But the one actor that I was completely starstruck by was Ava Gardner. And I met her, not with my father, but with my mother, over lunch. And I was all of 12.
I can imagine being awestruck by Ava Gardner as a 12-year-old boy. Yeah. That's for sure, Danny.
And I said, and after lunch, I said to my mother, I said, I think I'm in love. And she slapped me on the back of my head and she said, "Of course you are. It's Ava Gardner, for Christ's sake."
It makes complete and total sense. One of the things, again, I took a class on film noir back in college. Obviously, The Maltese Falcon is one of the first films you're going to see, and was that one of the first films your dad directed?
It was his first film.
It was his first.
Yeah.
I mean, for that to be okay, we're gonna direct a brilliant film with Humphrey Bogart and Sidney Greenstreet, right, and Peter Lorre, and it's going to be a classic. To come out of the gates like that, my gosh, that's incredible. That's unreal.
My grandfather was also in it briefly for a second.
Is that right?
Walter Huston.
Okay.
And he carries the falcon in wrapped in newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
he had
awesome.
a brief moment in it. But it when they made it, the term film noir wasn't invented yet. It was invented by some French critic who coined the phrase film noir.
Because of the way your dad shot it?
Yes. Yeah.
Because some of it was in the light, some of it was in the shadow. It was difficult to see some things, and he was purposeful as what was not seen.
Yeah, and the hardball detective, which is, I guess, finally now reincarnated
as Frank
Naked Gun. Yes. But that
I didn't see Humphrey bump into things or run over things.
Right.
You know, or eat too many hot dogs in the body cam. You know, like that's too bad.
But
I didn't see that.
It's
funny.
It's developed so much over the years, has it not? Yeah.
That is funny, no doubt. And then another moment for your dad playing. You can't even call Noah Cross the bad guy in Chinatown. I mean, what he did in that movie is as up there with anything else that he's ever done.
I think one of the great villains of all time.
100%.
And I remember being quite troubled watching it, because that is also my father.
I literally was going to ask you as a follow-up question. It's like your son.
Yeah.
Again, anybody who hasn't seen Chinatown, I guess it's spoiler alert. I mean, you know, if you haven't seen it, you know, in 50 plus years. That said, though, I mean, an awful human being. And I'm wondering what you were like as a kid watching your dad do this sort of thing up there.
Slightly preoccupied, but everything was okay. But with Akiva Schaffer, when we made Naked Gun, I remember him saying, I want each frame, if you were to freeze it, to have the beauty of a Chinatown, and to have that sort of photography. Wow. And, you know, we're talking about film noir. Film noir later turned into sort of a Chinatown, which would have much more color, had a Technicolor, had all that beauty, this scrumptious L.A. beauty to it, palm trees, et cetera.
Were you on the set for Chinatown?
I wasn't. Thankfully.
I took a shot. I know I was about to say, I took a shot at that just to be, you know, around, obviously, you know, Faye Dunaway and Jack Nicholson and Roman Polanski and your dad in that role.
Yeah.
My gosh. Yeah. That movie's... perfect.
Yeah.
There's not a frame or anything, and your dad's acting in that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable.
And the way he eats that fish.
Oh yes. Oof. You know.
And it's rare to see actors actually eating.
Yes.
You know.
All of that, and just the way that he said at the end, not to spoil it, like she's mine too. Like it was as creepy as they possibly can come. You know, in that movie.
And then the final line, it's Chinatown.
Yeah, and then the sprawling, you know, final shot as well. Exactly. Look at us. We're talking films right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Before I let you go as well, we had Kevin Costner here. It might have been his first or his second appearance here in support for Yellowstone, which had not really come out yet. Mm-hmm. And nobody had any idea what was about to be born when Yellowstone hit the screen. I'm wondering, because you were in the first 2 seasons of Yellowstone, what was that like to you to be on the set of something that was, you can't even call it a rocket ship taking off, about whatever's happened in the Taylor Sheridan world from that.
Right.
What was it like to be part of that in the very beginning?
Well, as you say, Rich, we didn't know if it was going to be successful or not. And I remember one of the first scenes I did with Kevin, we hadn't seen each other in many years. He met my father regarding a film called Revenge.
Oh, yes.
That was later directed by Tony Scott. Mm-hmm. And so my character in Yellowstone is very much the guy who's trying to bring money to that particular area and develop it. So I'm in a golf cart. Mm-hmm. He's on a horse, and there's wire separating us.
Yes,
and we're recalling that period in time when he met my father, and it was great to see him again. And he's just such a cool guy, so warm and understated, you know. So it was great just to shoot the shit, I suppose.
Yes, of course.
Over this barbed wire thing, but we had no idea if it was going to become successful or not. And then years later, those characters just beat the living daylights out of me.
My God, from your character, I mean, you know, you got hung, but then, you know, cut down.
I know, exactly.
Right?
Again and again and again.
I mean, just as a for instance, did you know that going in, that your character was going to be
I didn't quite know
pummeled?
No,
like
I didn't. But I was delighted to serve the pummeling.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, again, your character is exactly what the Dutton family was trying to keep out of their world.
Correct.
That was the center of the conflict of the first season of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Like, you and Kevin Costner's characters were essentially what gave birth in many ways to whatever else has happened.
That's right.
You know, like 100%. I'm not just saying that because you're sitting here. And it was unbelievable. It was truly groundbreaking. You know, because it kind of felt like, since we're recalling things from the past, obviously with the Naked Gun, it was kind of like Dallas, if you remember that.
Yes.
You know, with J.R. Ewing and the family around it. Whereas obviously Dutton, you know, his character wasn't exactly as dastardly as J.R. Ewing. But it was certain, you know, family values about what they're trying to maintain traditionally on a ranch for a business, a family business. And I kind of got that sense. And that helped me draw me in to Yellowstone when it first began.
Yes. Yeah, he exactly. He's a sort of godfather of sort, I suppose.
Right.
Maybe doing things that are not all that great, but doing them in support of his family and the land.
Right.
The land that he has. Yeah, and then when I finished working on Yellowstone, a few years later, I'm in England washing my mother's car with a sponge full of soap suds.
Yes.
I got a call, and I grab for my phone, and it's Kevin. He goes, "Hey Dan, how you doing?" I'm okay. He goes, "I'm making a film that I've been wanting to make for years. It's in many chapters." It's called Horizon, and I'd love you to be part of it. Absolutely.
In. Certainly. I mean, the man's got an Oscar for Dance with the Wolves. He's got an eye for that sort of thing, obviously, in the beautiful landscape. And he's into that too. Like that, he's all about that. You know, he's all about the pageantry and the hard work and the tilling of the land and getting into that sort of
that's right.
history.
That's right, and it's epic. It's epic.
Absolutely.
And we've got this first chapter out, and there are other chapters to come. And this dream. I remember driving to set. It was we were in Moab by the Colorado River, and I saw this sort of figure of a man reflected in the light that was bouncing off of the water from the river, and it was Kevin, and I could see this dream being realized as he turned and faced me, and we started the day's work.
Damn,
and
that's drama.
It's a beautiful thing to see. You were talking about Field of Dreams earlier when we met,
yes.
This is an epic dream, which is coming true for him, and it's so great to see.
That's cool.
Be part of.
That is great. Before I let you go, what was it like with Succession?
Succession is great. It's the most, how can I say it, unpleasant group of characters. And the dialogue is wicked, you know, and great to be part of that kind of writing. And
you're not wrong. I remember when it first came out, we were like, let's see what this show is, and the 2 or 3 episodes in, we're like, there's nobody I like on this program. There's like not a soul that's redeemable or that I'm interested in, but I'll give it another couple of episodes, and it just took off like a rocket ship. Yeah. And it's one of the funniest dramas I've ever seen. To make me laugh out loud. You got a good line that was written for you that you were particularly pleased about, or anything in the scene?
I don't know, but you're right. It's wickedly funny, and working with Brian Cox was a dream because he's has that sort of Scottish wicked humor, which translates perfectly into the character.
I should say so. Danny, what a pleasure having you here on this program. The Naked Gun is again available in theaters nationwide this next week, Friday, August 1st. Frank Drebin is back, and as you can see, he's fully armed. Liam Neeson and The Naked Gun is in theaters on August 1st.
Catch The Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.